A lot of people scratch their heads when I tell them that $5 per day is all you really need to start with Google Ads. They're like, no, it can't be that low. You need to be spending hundreds and thousands of dollars per day to compete with the big companies. There is no way $5 per day can work. So what I want to do in this video is I want to lay out a full strategy for you to follow if you want to spend just $5 per day with Google Ads. My only caveat is this will not work for you if you are a lawyer, somebody in the law industry, or if you are doing anything with finances. So for example, if you're a financial advisor or if you're an insurance agent, this will not apply for you. However, any other business I've seen this work for, and I'll do you one better. I even have proof that it's worked for entrepreneurs spending even less than $5 per day. My whole website is full of case studies, so you can go and check that out over there. All right, so before we get into all of this, the first thing I want you to do is I want you to obviously like and subscribe and check out my workshop that's linked down below. I'm going to show you how to get your first 100 leads with Google Ads. Even if you've never ran an ad in your life before, this is the perfect workshop for you. Now, I'm going to be telling you a little bit more about it towards the end of the video, but if you're in a rush and you just want to get to the good stuff, just click on the link in the description below and you'll have access immediately. All right, so let's talk about this $5 per day strategy. Now, a lot of people feel like if they're spending $5 per day, they really need to get a return on investment straight away. And that's not how advertising works. Any type of advertising that you use is going to take a while to get going. It's going to take a while for you to get your messaging right. And it's going to take a while for you to figure out what people like and what people don't like, what gets people to convert and what gets people not to convert. So the layout, the strategy is pretty simple. You're going to run a $5 per day ad. You're going to send it through to a landing page. The landing page is going to have no links to any other pages. You want them simply to focus on one offer. And what you also want to do is you want to make your offer so juicy, so irresistible that somebody says, hey, I need to sign up for this because I'm never going to get this opportunity again. So do you see how that works? Not only are you going to run the ads and expect the ads to do all of the work, but you need to make sure that every single step in the strategy works. Otherwise, $5 per day is not going to work. Another argument for starting a $5 per day campaign, especially if you're brand new to this, is look, people are losing thousands and thousands of dollars on ads all the time. If you go to Reddit is full of horror stories from people who are spending $5,000, $10,000, $1,000 a day and losing all their money. What I always say is if you're brand new to this, or if you're just starting out, or maybe you're a business owner and you only have $5 per day, that is the perfect place for you to start because you want to figure out if this is actually going to bring you clients, if this is actually going to bring you good people who want to pay you for your product or your service. So $5 per day is just a natural starting point. It's not, oh, I'm spending too little money. It's actually where you want to be because this is how you start, by testing, by experimenting. And if you get it wrong, and if you completely pick the wrong settings, well, guess what? You've only lost $5 and tomorrow you can start again with new settings. So with all of that being said, I can tell you now that $5 is actually where you want to start. Now, step 2, once we've made the decision that we're actually going to do this, what ad are we supposed to run? Are we going to run the normal search ads? Are we going to run the Performance Max ads? Are we going to run display ads? Which type of ads should we run? Now, if you don't have any idea what a search, performance, or display ad is, then I highly encourage you to watch this video over here where I explain the different ad types. But just to give you a little bit of context, search ads, they appear on Google search. So when you type for something and those text ads shows up, That's the search ads. Performance Max can kind of show anywhere. They can show on Gmail, YouTube, they can show on display, they can show in your discovery feed. You can basically find them anywhere. So you can think about a Performance Max like an all-in-one shampoo. And your display ads are your traditional banner ads. Now, where you want to start, if you're only spending $5 a day, is you want to start off with the most affordable types of ads. And those are your display ads. They can also be your YouTube ads as well. Those are the two ads that you want to focus on. So with a traditional search ad, you might be paying $5 per click. Sometimes $10 per click, sometimes $12 per click. On a $5 budget, you're really not going to get that much people clicking on your ads, which means your chances of getting a lead is very low. Now, this is inside the USA, but if you're outside the USA, it might still be possible. Like, for example, I had one of my students, Martine. She started off Google Ads with about a $7 per day budget, and she got fully booked out in her dog coaching business, and she's from the Netherlands, and she did this with just $7 per day. It's an amazing story. You can check it out on, I think it's on one of our website pages as well. She tells you exactly what happened. So basically, it is possible if you're outside the USA. If you're inside the USA, what you want to do is you want to focus on display and YouTube ads. And here's why you want to do that. Display and YouTube ads are relatively still affordable. They can reach a lot of people. And once somebody sees your display ad, it's a no-brainer. It's like, do you want the product? Yes or no. YouTube ads are even better because once somebody sees your YouTube ad, you can basically talk them through your offer and why they should sign up. So it's a nice way of standing in front of people and telling them why they should sign up for your product or service without actually having to go door to door or do any cold calling. It's a absolutely amazing type of ad for that. Now, I'm going to throw a little caveat in here and say at the time of recording this, you've got about, call it 30 days to still use YouTube ads. They will be going away and they will be merged into discovery ads. So if you're watching this video in the future, don't run a YouTube ad, run a discovery ad. If you're watching this on the 11th of March, make sure, 2025, make sure that you run a YouTube ad. Now, these are really super cost effective. They get people to your website and they can really generate a good amount of leads on a daily basis. So I highly recommend you start off with that. All right. So once we have our ad up and running, what do we do after that? The person's on the landing page. How do we get that lead? How do we get them to say yes to us? This is where we have to be a little bit counterintuitive. Now, the first thing I'm going to tell you is you want to give freely. Don't try and sell them on anything. Give freely. So I'll give you an example. Way back when I started with my Google Ads course, I thought it was going to be so easy that I was just going to put out a search ad, make it target the keyword Google Ads course, and I was just going to make millions of dollars, and I was just going to go buy a yacht in Monaco, and I was just going to retire. Well, newsflash, that didn't work. What I failed to realize was, although they clicked on my ad, although they see that it's for a course and they saw my course, which at the time was selling for, I think, $400 or $500, the problem was they didn't know me. They didn't trust me and they didn't trust my product. So we need to build up trust with the client before they give us their details or before they buy our thing. And how we do that is we send them to a free offer. So this could be something as simple as saying that when you sign up to have a call with me and my accounting firm, I'm going to give you a playbook to reduce your taxes. I'm going to give you a PDF with 5 simple ways that you can pay less tax in your business. So what that means is, although they're giving up their information, their email address, they're getting something in return that's of value to them. And you want to make sure that you start getting into the habit of giving away your expertise, because it's too confusing for clients in the market right now. There are too many people out there promising them good results, and you're just one of them. So what you want to do is you want to differentiate yourself by giving them something valuable for free. So what I do with my course right now is, instead of sending people to my course page, what I do is I send them to a free workshop where I literally teach them an ad strategy for 1 hour. And once they're bought in, and once they're hyped up, and once they realize, man, this guy is so good with ads, I want to learn from him, that's when I offer them my course. Is it possible that somebody might just search my keywords and buy my course? Yes, it's possible, but I'm going to have a far higher chance of converting people, especially when I'm only on a $5 per day ad budget, by just offering them something for free first. Once they go through the free material, they are going to be so much more hyped to work with me. And this you can apply to any business. If you're a mechanic, you can apply this. If you're a dentist, you can apply this. If you are somebody who does events, you can apply this. So for example, if you're a mechanic, you can say, these are the 5 common things that break on your car the most, and I'm going to be giving you a PDF to show you how to fix them yourself. You know, you're the mechanic, you're going to fix the big stuff, and you know the client is going to be too lazy. They're going to take the PDF, they're going to look through it, they're going to go, this is way too much work. Can't I just hire someone to pay this, because this is not my job, this is not what I do? And they're going to end up hiring you anyway. I think a lot of entrepreneurs have this, they have this skewed way of thinking where they think they're not supposed to give the client anything away for free, or give away their expertise for free, because it kind of diminishes them. But guys, you're watching me on this video right now, and I'm giving you information for free, right? All this does is it makes me look like an expert in my field. It makes people want to work with me more, and they end up signing up for my course. They end up buying consulting from me, or they end up working with me on one of their marketing projects. Now, if I had never given out any information, they would have never known I existed. They would have never paid attention, and I would have never made money from them. So just think about that when you're thinking through this strategy. The last thing we want to do is, and this is step 5, is we want to build a compelling offer. So I'll explain to you exactly how this works and how a lot of companies get this wrong. Companies can go in either one or two ways. They can get too technical with their offer, where they're trying to explain to the client, we're going to use this paint, we're going to use this type of wood, we are going to use this structure, and basically the clients don't care. Clients want the result. They don't care how you build a chair. They need a new chair for their office. So you're far better off hiring a photographer, paying $3,000, taking beautiful, exquisite photos of your chair in office environments and putting that into your website, versus trying to explain to them how the leg of your chair came from Switzerland. They don't care. They absolutely don't care. So when you're trying to build a compelling offer, do not get so stuck in the technical details of how your product is being delivered. Focus on the feeling that the client's going to get once they have the product in their life. So for example, if you're selling the chair, you put a beautiful picture of the chair looking out on a beautiful view, and you say, this could be you, but you don't have this chair. You could do something like that. Or what you could do is you could say, take a picture of the chair, put it in the office, and you can say something like, look like a boss for less than $500. Get creative with it. Make sure that your marketing stands out, but do not just dive into the technical nitty-gritties of your product. Trust me, it's the nail in the coffin for your offer. The other type of offer that I commonly see when I'm consulting with clients is, a lot of business owners have all of the right pieces on their website. Doesn't need that much work, but they have no proof that their product or their service is actually good. So if you don't have reviews, if you don't have social proof, if you don't have results, and if you don't present those results in a compelling way, it's just not going to work for you. I remember I was consulting once with a gentleman who owned an agency, and what he did was he took the screenshot of his results that he got for the client, and he put it on his website. The only problem was it was a Google Analytics screenshot, and nobody but a hardcore computer nerd could basically be able to read it. It was so many graphs and so many columns and stuff like that the average person would not know what that meant. And I sat with him and I said to him, look, what you're doing is great, but at the end of the day, what the client wants to do is rank number one on Google. That's all they care about. All you need to do is put on case studies of your website showing that I got this client to rank number one on Google. Have a screenshot with a Google search with their ad in the number one position, and then say, this is where they were, and this is how we got them to the number one position. Be very clear in the results that you put on your website, because it matters. People are spending less and less time on your product page. They are spending less and less time on your website page. And basically what they need is they want a clear conversion path. They want a clear way to easily see the result that you can get for them. All right, so that's basically how you win with Google Ads with just a $5 per day budget. And what I want to do is I don't want to leave you just here. I want to actually help you implement the strategy. So what I want you to do is check out my workshop. It's linked down in the description below. And in that workshop, I'm going to show you how to get your first 100 affordable leads with Google Ads. And this workshop is built for people who are not on the big budget, who do not want to marketing agency running things, who are just starting off and just trying to learn how they can get leads with ads. So that is going to be linked down in the description below. I want you to join me because I'm going to be sharing so much value on that workshop. Last but not least, what I'd like to do is I'd like to thank you for watching. I know there are so many things and it's so confusing when you're running ads, but I think it's important to make these videos because honestly, when I was starting off with a $1 per day budget, I thought I was crazy. And then through my talking to other people, I found out that this is fairly common for people to start off with tiny budgets and still get amazing results with Google Ads. So if you want a video where I talk you through how I started off with Google Ads when I was broke, you can check out this video over here, and I will see you on the next one. Peace.